Good morning, everybody. Afternoon. I don't know what's going on with you guys, where you are, what time thing you're in. But I forgot my book in here. I'll get it because I gotta make coffee. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I need to make coffee. Please get in. Um, get your stuff. Good morning. Our CERCA TROVA Instagram is gone. I'm getting ready to get rid of our Tat Night Instagram, our lemonade, and all of that stuff. I already started on it today, this morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm gonna go. I really don't need no coffee. I'm gonna just wait. Even though I do, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna wait a minute. So I don't want to be all caffeined up all day. I don't want to do that. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Y'all. Hey, hey. Ooh, shoot. Y'all said labor pains. I said labor pain. Everybody say it with me. Labor pains. And not IANANGS, honey. Listen. Listen here. Listen. Labor, yeah. Labor pains. Okay. Who remembers me saying there's a time coming when you are not going to be able to, come on, you're not going to be able to just go to church freely. You're not going to be able to move around freely. Do y'all remember that? Same on my way to my son's school to have lunch with him. He came home from school yesterday telling me people were saying, "Hail Satan." Okay, so it's happening. Can I play something for y'all? Who watched Thief in the Night or Left Behind? Or both? Okay. Please listen with your ears open. Please. DHS is officially rescinding the restrictions that kept ICE agents. Tell me the definition of rescinding. What's the definition of rescinding? To take back. To take back. To take back. To cancel. Okay. Going forward. We're going to rewind that. DHS is officially rescinding the restrictions that kept ICE agents from conducting arrests in sensitive locations such as schools, churches, and daycare centers. What does that mean? That's right. So this is something we reported on shortly after the election. DD Martinez and I were hearing that this was something in the works by the transition. They want to completely take the handcuffs off ICE agents, as they say, meaning allow them to make arrests anywhere. Previously, under the Obama first Trump administration and Biden administrations, ICE had by and large left alone anyone who might be at a church or any house of worship of any faith, a hospital trying to get health care, or any kind of educational facility, a daycare center, a school, a college, for example. That was not a place where ICE was going to carry out arrest unless there was some reason, a law enforcement reason, there was someone who they thought would put the public in danger if they didn't arrest them right then. It also pertained to large gatherings, funerals, weddings, but also protests. If you think about people trying to come out for a large rally for a pathway to citizenship, by and large, that wouldn't be a place where faith, a hospital trying to get health care, or any kind of educational facility, a daycare center, a school, a college, for example, that was not a place where ICE was going to carry out arrest unless there was some reason, a law enforcement reason. There was someone who they thought would put the public in danger if they didn't arrest them right then. It also pertained to large gatherings, funerals, weddings, but also protests. Do you remember those words from 2020? Do you remember those exact words for the end of January of 2020? Because America went on shutdown February something like 27th. Them exact words, all of that was, if we find out church, this is why people stop going to church. You can be arrested. Is this not Left Behind? Is this not Thief in the Night? Where was they going to pick them people up at? Do you remember saying, please don't be okay with what they're doing to the immigrants because they're practicing? Do you remember us talking about mothers being separated from their children and fathers being separated from their wives? Have we had that conversation here? I said you need to teach your children how to survive because they might not be with you. You need to teach them not to sit and cry, but to pay attention. You need to teach them to be quiet and not say anything. You said the Queen of Hearts already started separating families. You saw it yesterday. Okay. Did you watch the documentaries about the first Queen of Hearts? Is that not what he did? Is it? Do you see the strategy? Do you remember the video I played yesterday of the black woman from Sweden or wherever she was from, and she was telling what she was saying about how the fash and how, y'all remember that video I played for y'all yesterday? And she was saying how the whole Jew, this person, they're not recognizing them. They saying if you say anything against, and then we had just, and they're taking over the media and the radio. You remember we talked about that, and I said, didn't we just go look up what happened when the first Queen of Hearts, about the radio and the journalists? And somebody said that the second Queen of Hearts has now said that journalists could be unalived and should be unalived in front of a firing squad. Do you all remember when I told y'all I quit wanting to fly because the posts that they make you stand behind make me feel like I'm standing at a firing squad post? Does anybody remember me telling y'all that? Anybody remember hearing that? That's why I like flying. The zoning thing made me think about them people over there, how they say zones, and I said, do you know who else had zones? And then that star, that gold star. Can I play something else for y'all today? Who's heard CERCA talk about the gold star? Who saw a video of CERCA talking about the gold star in 2017, talking about in 2014 or 2013 when she was telling people about the gold star? They called her crazy. Have you seen those videos? Anybody? You heard me talk about it. Anybody? Okay. I want y'all to look at something real quick, please, and thank you. I just want y'all to see something. Or is the decor at this Capital One Arena ceremony thing, whatever that's just about to happen, very interesting and familiar looking. It's odd that it's gold stars and red. Is it just me, or is the decor at this Capital One Arena ceremony thing, whatever that's just about to happen, very interesting and familiar looking? It's odd that it's gold stars and red. Is it just me, or is that interesting to you? Is it? If it's not, I'm about to help you understand why it should be. We have breaking news right now. Elon Musk has now entered German politics and has endorsed the far-right neo-Nazi party running. We have breaking news right now. Elon Musk has now entered German politics and has endorsed the far-right neo-Nazi party running for election in Germany. Today he called for the We have breaking news right now. Elon Musk has now entered German politics and has endorsed the far-right neo-Nazi party running for election in Germany. Today he called for the AfD, the Alternative for Germany Party, the country's savior. Now, the AfD is currently running second in major opinion polls in the country, and it may actually be able to thwart a center-right or center-left majority in the German parliament. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz dismissed Musk's comments, saying, quote, "We have freedom of opinion." It also goes for multi-billionaires, but freedom of opinion also means that you can say things that aren't right and don't contain good political advice. Now, the AfD is the furthest right political party in Germany that has a chance at winning a majority in the parliament. And this comes after the German government collapsed earlier this month after a no-confidence vote. Musk is now wading into German politics after throwing American government into a complete loop this week in a possible government shutdown. Comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow and stay up to date on all the news. Still think I'm just that crazy lady on the internet, huh? Am I still just that crazy lady on the internet, or has God been telling us step by step by step by step, baby, what was going to happen? Who we needed to be looking at, what we needed to go study. Everybody that says she just all over the place, baby, because the world about to be all over the place, I promise you. Everything that we studied and looked at and talked about, baby, is popping up off of every page we go to. Tell me it ain't. Still don't believe. It doesn't matter if the world doesn't believe it. If God has pulled the scales off of your eyes, baby, you gonna be able to see. Period. While everybody else is up in an upward, God kept telling us for over 8 months, look this way. Pay attention. Go study this right here. Study them people over there, because this is going to be important. Has he or has he not? It's not one thing that has not been relevant in our world today in the last 1,000 days that God did not have us study. It is mind-blowing. Hey, this is going to be mind-blowing year that we were told about. Listen, it's happening. I got more for you. So we're going to keep going because we have an audio-visual classes this week. And just believe I'm downloading all these videos. I don't even, before I share them or do anything, I hit download. And then, because I see what they doing to me. This is crazy. might just need to go back to downloaded videos. Oh, here we go. To cut off power supply. Canada has threatened. This is 11 hours ago. To cut off power supply to the United States of America if Donald Trump issues tariffs starting February 1st. Trump has warned that he is going to issue a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico starting February 1st. Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario State, said he will begin cutting off power supply to New York, Wisconsin, and Michigan if Trump goes through with this tariff.
We'll go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole. This is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming.
Wow, the pressure is getting.
Ontarians and Canadians as a whole. This is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming.
Wow.
Protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole. This is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming.
Wow.
Have you heard that before? Have you heard that before? It ain't if, it's when. It ain't if, it is. It ain't if, it's when. This makes me think back to the comment that I got in last August when somebody told me we got 10 years, and I said, listen, you cannot be that damn blind. Moving on. You know what? WOI, got a lot of people in Michigan, a lot of people in Wisconsin, and a lot of people in New York. But you know what they got? Lights. You know what they got? Wool blankets. You know what they got? Ovens to keep their house warm and to feed their... Listen. Y'all, what month did we pick up steam? February. The end of February 2022 is when y'all found me. I went viral March the 1st. So 30 days from the date that I went viral in 2022, which would make it exactly 36 months to the day that I went viral. Every single thing that God has told me to tell y'all is right here in our face. Right here in our face. And people would say, how long? I say, don't wait. I said less than 3 years. I mean, this is just me. I'm not God. But 2 to 3 years. I wouldn't let 2 years go by before you go get your stuff. Is this not what y'all heard from me in the beginning of this? All the way until May. I've still said it. But I said, please don't. We don't have that much time. You said I found you in August of 2022. Thank God for his mercy. Listen, I'm great. I've been telling God all day, thank you, God. Thank you for warning us. Thank you for telling us. Thank you for teaching us. I just told my daughter, she said, Mom, this Trump stuff is getting crazy. I said, baby, you've been trained for this. I said, all of them times I talked to you about teaching you to cook from scratch and wash your clothes in the tub and all of that is for now. I said, teaching y'all how to keep your mouth no matter what nobody say and walk away because they just words. I said, you remember I told you the key is to make it home, honey. I said, you built for this. I said, you didn't know it, but I was training y'all the same way when my mama would talk to me about living down south and how you had to act. I trained my kids that way in 2000. In 1996, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 2010, baby. I've been putting it in them. It don't matter. You move and you watch. You see why? Because, baby, my mama already told me, and God said, these things are coming back. You hear me? Right. Do you understand? understand how much God loves us, to peel the scales off of our eyes, to tell us to get into the word, start confessing stuff. Because who understands that every single time that you came to this place and told something that you used to do, to openly confessed it, God changed your life. See, y'all didn't know that y'all was in open confession every time you said, oh no, me too. Oh no, I used to do that. Oh, you will never believe who I used to be. Y'all realize y'all was confessing y'all sin? Do you realize? It didn't feel like church, so you had to stand up in front of everybody. Oh, but you was confessing. Oh, I used to be this, and I used to do this. And you was confessing your sins to God and saying, I know they wrong, I need change. And for 3 years, the same amount of time from 30 to 33 that God was out walking this world. And he was telling them before that, but we really get the focus in the word on 30 to 33. That's 36 months. For however long you've been here, you've been working on yourself. You've been asking God to inspect. You've been putting things down and picking things up that God is pleased with. This is not for nothing. It might have been one of the most difficult things that you had to do, to think about the ugly. But do you all remember me talking to you about the devil wants you to think about the ugly when it's happening, which is the worst time to think about it. God wants you to know, prior to, so that even though it's going to happen, you are in a calmer state of mind to think. And if you go ahead and listen, he'll tell you to pick up certain stuff at the store. Don't spend this money at a certain time. Don't go around these people, because there are things. See, you thought, don't nobody want to talk to me because I'm reading the Bible. God said, I am separating everybody from you that will try to come and take from you, because I know what's coming. Do you hear me? He did not have to prepare our family members in Michigan with the things that they have. He didn't have to, because there's millions of people that are not. But there is a few in each city, in South Africa and Japan and all of these things, that might have came here and heard the word of the Lord, and they believed and they acted on it. Everybody that called you crazy, they do not think you are overreacting in this last 4 days. Whether they call you and tell you or not, now they know. Now they know you wasn't crazy. Now they know you wasn't a conspiracy theorist. Now they know you was really hearing from God. Do you understand? When God was telling y'all to get up and do this and anoint your house and do this and do that, not just from class, when y'all was in y'all intimate time with God. Now you tell me this. All of the people that told you was not hearing from God because you didn't go to church, do you believe them now? Because the church is now finding out who these people are on the news. God been telling us for 3 years. Has he not? Has he not? As a group, he's been telling us. He might send Rika to something. He might send Miss Janet to something. He might send Lee to something. He might send one of us. CERCA, guess what I heard? Guess what's happening in my town? Do y'all remember me saying, why would I exclude everybody when inclusion is going to get us to more information? Who remembers? You know what they're doing on TikTok now? If you type in Democrat, you can't find nothing. Type in Republican, everything pops up. Instagram is doing it too. I tried to type dictator in dictatorship in somebody's comments on TikTok, and as soon as I got to dictate, it deleted the word and it kept doing it. They're not even going to allow you to be able to write dictatorship on TikTok. You said what? You said what? Kept erasing the word. I said, what is this? This was today. You can't even write the word. Well, I can't. Y'all might be able to, but I tried to write dictatorship, baby, nothing. And now that this man did linked up with the neo-Nazis, and people said, oh, that wasn't a Nazi sign. And then he goes right over to Germany where the Nazis was, and his whole campaign, because it ain't Donald Trump's, has the same look that the Nazis were. Interesting. That same gold star. We're seeing it everywhere now, are we not? Did we study about the gold star here? And I told y'all we should pay attention to the gold star because that's the star they put on the people right before the mass murder, millions of them. Y'all remember this conversation? And now this nigga's hooking up. Well, he's already been with the same people that started that whole thing. Is this not the same strategy? Did you know that this was going to happen? Did you know that this is exactly who they were? Did you? Now you know what they're probably going to do? Start taking a lot of the documentaries offline. But guess what? You already went and watched them. Freedom of speech is no more. Can I ask you a question, Trailer Park Gardener? Did we talk about that here? Did people give CERCA a really hard time and probably roll their eyes and say some really crazy stuff about CERCA because she kept saying you cannot say whatever you want to say, and just because you know don't mean you should say? Because it could cost you your breathing. Is that not a lesson? Thank you, sis. Is that not a lesson I've been trying to teach you for 3 freaking years? And that's why I said y'all ain't about to get me messed up because y'all don't know how to. Oh, okay. And now what? Oh, okay. Freedom of speech is dead. Got it. For 3 years, God was trying to train people on what to do. We learned about it. It just wasn't sure we would see it this soon. Got it. I do remember, Sandra. I do remember. I learned about those in 2009 when I watched Illuminati Conspiracy. Chapters 1 through 10. Yes, ma'am. I do. That's when I learned about all of this. A lot of, well, parts of it as far as the government is concerned. That's why I told y'all, find it and look, because they took it out. Are we here? Who feels silly for buying your survival stuff? Them too. Obama brought them in 2009 or 8. He bought 200,000 of those. Yeah, they've been here too. Anybody sad that you bought your survival stuff? You hear me? Anybody feel crazy for buying all of the things that you bought? Or are you happy that God thought enough of you? Okay. Do you care about being a crazy? Who remembers the crazy people always make it? Come on. Who remembers? The crazy people always make it. Who remembers me saying, we gonna be the crazy people? Feel like the crazy people now? That be at the end of the movie. Huh? We are the KBs of this time. We are. Call me crazy. I'll be right over here in my corner. Oh. Come on. Come on. See? Y'all thought we was crazy. Let the people. I said, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't even worry about it. God is telling us what to do, and we just gonna stay over here. Crazy ain't crazy. Show ain't. Crazy is real smart. That's why I said I don't mind letting people think I'm crazy. It don't bother me. I've been called crazy my whole life, so I was well prepared for this time. That part, he had the bacon for sure. Listen, I prayed for all of the people in our community. What about the snow in Florida and Georgia and all of that in my county? They are already creating districts and curfews patrolled by the National Guard and Reserve, saying it's about the snow is less than an inch on the ground. Interesting. Interesting. My whole family says I'm crazy, but who's the crazy ones for real? That part. Crazy prepared, crazy aware, and crazy strategic over here, ma'am. That part. Crazy is common sense. It sure is. It sure is. The snow is in Texas has barely lasted 6 hours. Interesting. You said let me dust off my Hunger Game books for a reread. Yeah. Well, I got something we can read too. Just give me 1 second. And we read it before, but this is what I fell on this morning. Whoa. So, I'm gonna go make myself some coffee, and you're gonna need your book one. I'm not gonna tell you where yet, but book one, please. I got an exercise for y'all real quick too. I want y'all to get a pen and paper real quick while I make this coffee. And write a list of the things that God taught you to do that are going to come in handy in the next year or two. Okay? You hear me? I want you to write it. If you learned how to make bread, pasta, butter, start a fire, purify water, all of those things, I want you to just take some time really quickly and number them. Write a time and date real quick, and just all the things. Dehydrate food, canned food, make cookies from scratch. It don't matter. Things that you did not do prior to 2022. I want you to, whether it be buy seeds, learn to garden, whatever it is. Let's just list all those things that you all have learned. And then when I come back, we're going to, take some time, not take some time, but, kind of just write down how many different things you learn to do. And then look and see if those things are going to be valuable in the next coming months, okay? Can y'all do that real quick? Just a quick. I live in Florida and we got 7 or more inches of snow. Last time it snowed was 1989 and it wasn't nothing like this. Interesting. Okay. So it's kind of like a never happened type thing. Interesting. It happened, but not like this. Got it. I need to put some oil on. Hold on, y'all. This skin is cracking, honey. Okay. Yep, I'm in Georgia and we got snow yesterday, which is rare since we got, well, when we do get snow occasionally, it's in February or March. Interesting. So let me ask y'all a question. Who, if you didn't understand before the difference between expensive and valuable, that is a huge thing for you now. And y'all remember that was a lesson God had to teach me about. Just because it is expensive doesn't mean it's valuable. I have a question. How valuable do y'all think all of those designer clothes are about to be? Did y'all see that? Well, let's just listen. Let's just listen.
We have some big news right now. All federal employees in DEI roles will have to be put on paid leave starting by 5 p.m. tomorrow, according to a latest memo found by CBS News. There's an email template associated with this memo putting federal workers saying DEI programs are, quote, divided Americans by race, wasted taxpayer dollars, and resulted in shameful discrimination. Before I continue, if TikTok is ever banned again, please follow me on my Instagram, Substack, and YouTube. They're all linked in my bio. Now, this memo comes after Donald Trump issued an executive order essentially rolling back all DEI policies in the federal government, and now federal workers are beginning to feel the impacts. Now, they are going to be put on paid leave, not unpaid leave, which is big. But in any event, they will be out of a job. They will not be able to report to the office by 5 p.m. tomorrow. That is the cutoff for all agencies to essentially put their DEI employees on paid leave. As always, comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along.
What's today? Not the date. What's the day? What day is it? Tell me, please. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Who remembers us talking on Monday? And I said there are going to be people Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that's going to wake up and they don't have a job. Y'all remember us talking about that on Monday? We talked about it on Sunday too. Who remembers me saying that? I said by Friday a lot of people was not going to have a job. But Wednesday and Thursday, yeah. And what did he just say? Today's the 22nd. That was yesterday. He said by 5 o'clock today, they got to be on paid leave, babe. Hold on. I watched them sign all the executive orders, and they are all frightening. Yes, yes, they are. Did we talk about it? Who remembers the phrase evening the playing field, as far as money and status and all of these things? Did we talk about that a lot here? I'm just trying to get y'all to see something, because people, even my family and friends, say, "Girl, you just be all over the place." You say, "I tried to get in on one of your classes." It ain't for everybody. It ain't. It's for the people that really want to understand. And we did. Okay. So the people in Georgia that run the chicken plants is about to be out. They said thousands of people are going to be without a job. And now, today, some people, I know this to be true because I looked on that thing, and a lady said she had got hired at the IRS, and they sent her a letter today saying they on a hiring freeze. They won't be hiring nobody, with added emphasis. We scatterbrains for a reason. Is because we got to know what's going on in Germany and why it applies to over here, and what's going on in Africa and why it applies to here, in the water and the electricity. And we got to pay attention to this, and we got to pay attention to that. Who remember me telling y'all that your ADHD was a superpower? Because you can think of multiple things and focus on multiple things at one time. Who remembers me telling y'all this? People used to tell me I was scatterbrained until I could be. Do you realize how many questions I have to be able to answer? If I only thought in one train of thought, I would not be able to say, such and such, blah, 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 BBB, blah, 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 toot, toot, over here, kiki. Do you understand me? If I only could think on one train of thought, all the questions, especially when we was going crazy, I wouldn't have been able to do it. My mom used to tell me, you need to think about one thing at one time. Yeah, that's not going to work. So this is why even when I'm reading, I have to have several books out. But there are several things and pieces to this puzzle that God wants me to see. Who remembers me telling y'all when y'all first started this, everyone's like, I'm going back to the beginning. I'm going to start from the beginning. I said, well, if God wants you to be at the end, then the message for that day, you're not going to get it. You let him guide you on where you're supposed to go read. And it'll all be relevant to what you're going to go through. I'm not saying you can't. But if there's something in First Peter that he needs you to read today, and you saying I'm just gonna stay in Genesis, well then what, you ain't even getting what he want to give you. Let him guide you on what to read, and it's all gonna make sense. You gonna get to the middle, get bored at the kings and the numbers of the ages, and be like, forget it, I'm gonna just do something else. Oh, okay, let him do it, and it'll stay interesting the whole time. Let me ask you a question. Has the Bible ever been this interesting to you? Be honest. If it has, okay. If it hasn't, did you want to pick up and understand what was in there? Really understand. Interesting. You said, nah, man. Nope. You said, as a child, I wanted to understand. Survey our residents on how they feel about our housekeepers, which I am one of them. And my residents told me at 10 this morning. What? Could you hold the stories in once you learned what they really was about? Or did you just have to tell somebody? You said everything out the Bible is jumping out up off the page, and yes, it's very interesting to me now. Could you had to tell somebody? Okay, so it's like fire shut up in your bones. The word, every time you read a story, you're like, oh my God, I'm about to send this to my cousin. I'm about to send this to my. Oh, okay. You had to tell somebody. You couldn't hold it in. As a child, only 66, but now I want to learn more things. Yep. How you break down the Bible to me makes me want to know more. But God did that. It don't have nothing to do. You had to tell somebody. Okay. I tell people, but they look at me with crazy eyes. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay, you said, I know you was. I know you was. Okay, so look, I've been reading to my son who's almost 18 now. Pretty cool. Cool. So look at this, okay? Understand that none of that was for nothing. Because do you understand how many people went to church a couple of days ago? They went to Bible study last night, and they going to Bible study tonight, and they still have absolutely no idea of what is being said in those books as to why they would come in here in the last 3 years and call me a false prophet and just start rattling out scriptures that had absolutely nothing to do with what we were talking about. And they think that if they just speak those scriptures, that is going to stop what God said is going to happen. Can I ask y'all a question? We taught about this, right? But did I tell you, don't worry about it and all of this? Or did I say, no, you need to prepare because this is what God said is happening. So we need to prepare for it. We need to prepare our minds. We need to prepare our spirits, our homes, our bodies. We need to prepare. If you believe, then you have to get up and do something. If you believe that he is unctioning you to buy or not buy, to stay or go, to drive or not drive, you have to be able to hear the voice of God. And you have to know, because in a minute you're not going to have no social media. And if you do, it's not going to be valuable to you. Did we talk about it? Think about the Christians that are waking up today, the religious people, and they are freaking out because their pastors told them nothing. They were planning trips, marriages, parties, and then all of a sudden, it was going to hit them. Is that not what we are experiencing in the last 5 days? It said they going to look up, baby, and it's going to be a gush of water, baby. And once that gush comes, you can't stop it. It's coming. It ain't no. They keep talking about, oh, when we get into the tribulation, baby, it's feeling like year 5 right now. It's feeling like year 4.5 or 5 right now. And if we go back from 2019 or 2020, everything is like it's mind blowing. With no lifesavers and safety rafts. Come on. How are these pastors about to spend this? To know that something that people could have got 3 years ago for $100 is now upwards or right at $1,200 is mind blowing. That's 1,000 times more expensive, or excuse, is it 100? Whatever it is, it was 100, now it's 1,200. Excuse me, so not 1,000 times, but $1,000, over $1,000 more expensive than if they would have just listened in 22. Maybe 300 in 23, maybe 400 in 24, but now in 2025 is $1,200 for 4 items that could have been $100 3 years ago. When money is not as available, when money is not flowing, but did God not tell us that these things were going to happen during the time when it wasn't no money, when it wasn't no food? Is that what he said to us? He said, look for these calamities to happen during this time. And the crazy thing is, people thought poop was sweet. And they thought they had more time. But isn't that what the word said? That they was going to think they had more time and God was going to fall down on them. And that was going to be it. Because they chose to be blinded. They chose to believe a lie. They chose that. They chose to believe a lie. They chose to believe that they could pay their way into heaven, and as long as their pastor oil is a little thin and the lantern's halfway there. Oh, nephew. Oh! Nephew said the oil get a little thin about that middle part. About that middle part. Nephew. They went to their festivals and their church gatherings and their tent meetings, and they didn't prepare. You're not going to be able to openly worship Jesus Christ anymore. That's why that man didn't put his hand on that Bible. That's why everybody around him be wearing upside down crosses and look like demons is running in and out of their bodies like crazy. Because Lucifer and his brothers, they found their bodies. He said especially, come on. All of them. You hear me? Honey, you can see it in his eyes. And the other ones too. You got to realize, you know what I thought about? He's seeing all the demons in the room because he stay on something that keep him in the spiritual realm. He stay on something that keep him in the spiritual realm. And he thinks the demons that he's hearing from, and rightly so, because there's going to be a time. The Bible said that this person was going to be able to overcome, blase, skip, whatever. Oh, okay. So all them people talking about they wasn't going to be here. And what you hear now, in May 7th, the same thing that they did to the Jews back in the day, they're doing right now. To everybody on all the continents. All of them. You already know. And look at how many Christians have already been deceived. They'll believe a lie before they believe the truth. A man that said he don't even mess with God. Now he talking about God saved him. He won't put his hand on the Bible. Like everything that man stands for is the exact opposite of everything that Jesus stands for. And the Christians, because he said he don't want gay marriage and gay this and that or transgender or whatever. They said, oh, he's a man of God, and this nigga wouldn't even put his hand on the Bible. Baby, listen, if that ain't blind, I don't know what is. He held the Bible upside down the first time. Y'all, it's crazy. But the nigga, his best friend, walks around with demonic stuff on, telling you who he, like, right. Got it. It said even the Christians, the very elect, was going to be deceived. I see it there. Excuse me. Brother Dreams, those children been having telling me ready and renewing of your mind for Christ. Interesting. Orange dude made his own Bible. And y'all know what he took out of there? The 13th through the 21st, the 27th Amendments. All the civil rights and slavery stuff is not in there. Did you know? I just found that out yesterday. He took out all the amendments that would take away slavery and all of that. And they've been meeting. Mm-hmm. Sure did. In that Bible, there's 21st, I think the 13th, 14th, all the way up to the 27th Amendment or something is not in there. He took them out. So, I don't know. Okay, moving on. I need you to go in your book 1, page, book 2. Book 1, blah. Book 1 to page 345. I said book 1 and book 2. Book 1, page 345. Can we go? Can you go? Come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. You hear me? Y'all ready? Let's do it. We've been reporting on news enough. Tell me when you over there. Y'all ready? You want to hear it? Here we go. Come on. Y'all rusty? Okay. Oh, it's one of them people in here today. Okay, here we go. When indeed God stopped my most perfectly wise song as I prayed many things, he also again placed in my breast a delightful utterance of wondrous words. I will speak the following with my whole person in ecstasy, for I do not know why I say, but God bids me to utter each thing. I got a question really quickly, right? Have y'all ever heard me say, y'all, I don't know, but I just feel like we should. I don't know why I'm saying this right now, but I think we should do this. I think God is telling me we need to move this way. Has anybody ever heard me say that? And then it might happen when we in class. I'll be like, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but y'all, we might need to. Would it be relevant soon? Would whatever that thought was that just came out of nowhere be relevant to our life soon? Okay. So almost she was like, I was praying, God told me something. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but here we go. Okay. Okay. She said, but when on earth there are raging earthquakes and thunderbolts and thunders and lightnings and mildew of the land. We've had earthquakes. We didn't have weird thunderbolts, thunderstorms in the snow. I ain't never heard of no thunder snowstorm. And anybody been seeing lightnings in the sky? Ain't we been seeing all these lightning, and we've been having thunder snowstorms and earthquakes and all kinds of crazy stuff that's been happening that doesn't normally happen. Okay. Oh, were people waking up after the fog and finding mildew overnight in their lawn? And the weird mildew. Okay. They thought it was here. It was going off of poop and everything after the fall. Wasn't it? Okay. I just want to see if y'all was seeing what I was seeing. We're going to play a game of do you see what I see? Here we go. It says, and frenzy of jackals and wolves and slaughters and destructions of men and bellowing oxen and four-footed cattle, and laboring mules, and goats and sheep. Then much farmland will be left barren through neglect, and fruits will fail. How would that happen right now? How is that happening since Tuesday? Excuse me, Monday. How would that happen here? That the fields and the farms are left barren. How would that happen? Yes, but no. Think about what's happening. No workers. No. Who works our fields and farms? The migrants. So the mold came. The fire came. The earthquakes came. Folks is unaliving people. And he said the farms is going to fail and it ain't going to be no fruit. You know why? Because we ain't going to have no migrant workers. Why? Because they getting rounded up. The strange mold came. The earthquakes came. And now God said, it ain't about to be no fruit and vegetables because y'all ain't going to have no migrant workers because they going to be in concentration camps. Moving on. It says much farmland will be left barren through neglect because ain't going to be nobody to work them. And fruits will fail. Selling of free men into slavery will be practiced among very many people, and robbing of temples. Do you know what the Yahtzees did? Who watched the Yahtzee documentaries? Them people. What did they do? Did they rob churches? Did they rob? They took all them people's gold. They went into the Jewish temples, tabernacles. They took the gold cups. They raided every church. They burned them. They did all of that. Did they not? All them Jews with their fine jewels and stuff, they took their fur coats. They took everything. They robbed families and churches, stores, doctors, and they robbed every. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so we're seeing a pattern here. Here we go. Then indeed the 10th generation of men will also appear after these things, when the earth-shaking lightning giver will break the glory of idols and shake the people of seven-heeled Rome. Great wealth will perish, burned in a great fire from the flame of Hephaestus. Then there will be a bloody precipitation from heaven. What is that? What is bloody precipitation? What is precipitation? Rain. God said it was going to rain blood in a minute too, right? In the last days. Isn't it supposed to rain blood shortly? Do y'all realize we're getting closer to seeing Enoch and Elijah? Do y'all understand that? Because after the mark, they gonna have their years to come against the Antichrist, the two witnesses. They're about to show up. The mark is here come May 7th. Because in Africa and other places, they're making them get international ID. That is the one world ID. Here, by May 7th. In other places, you have to have the star, the same star. Mm-hmm. Okay? Let's go, y'all. It says, but the entire world of innumerable men will kill each other in madness. In the tumult, God will impose famines and pestilence and thunderbolts on men who agitate without justice. There will be bloody perception from heaven, but the entire world of innumerable men will unalive each other in madness. And in the tumult, when men are unaliving each other, famine will be happening, pestilence, and thunderbolts. I gotta go blow my nose. Give me a second. I just want y'all to stay right there. And if you have your journal, please don't read ahead. I want you to journal from the top of that down, how many of those things. Go and see the dates of 2024 or whatever when we had some of these catastrophic things happen. Make a timeline real quick. Can you do that? Can you? Huh? I froze. Interesting. They not gonna let me have it. They not gonna let me cook, but it's okay. Gonna do that. I gotta go blow my nose, y'all. It's hot, cold weather. It's getting to excuse me. I almost set my house on fire last night and the night before. Well, not fire, but I could have definitely died from like smoke inhalation. 2 different times I left the eye on. The night before last and last night. I could barely breathe. I had to go outside. It took over an hour. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can. Did. And I thought about that fire escape ladder thing. I thought about that. I said, God, you are so amazing. Because that has not ever happened. Have you ever heard of a church asking you for a background check to get baptized? Absolutely not. Who did that? Baby, listen. So in this moment, it might not be wise, even for us, to do our mass baptism that we plan to do online. Do you understand why that might not be smart now? And remember, I kept saying, okay, maybe around the 20, I don't know. We just got to wait for the date, maybe the 27th. But God knew all that was going to happen. Do you realize that that could have set a lot of us up for a lot of crazy stuff? Not that we can't do it, but we probably going to have to set up because it's going to, ooh. And then they'll know because who they... So we're going to have to do it like on the phone, on the radio. I don't know. This thing has a radio thing. Maybe we can do it here to where the faces aren't there, but you guys can hear. I don't know. But I'm not setting the folks that God sent to me up for failure. Do you realize that they were having to baptize and stuff in places that were dirty because they couldn't do it openly in the clean streams and stuff? Y'all understand that? Some of the places that people were baptized, the water, it was not the best because they couldn't do the things that they were doing in the open because it could cost them things. No, Zoom records every single thing. That's why I said the faces will not be recorded. They have a radio thing. I could do it on a podcast and y'all be where y'all gonna be and we gonna get down through there. I'm not putting nobody's face on there. No, that's what I just said. I'm not setting the folks up that God sent me. No, because those are about to be the animals that are hunted. Absolutely not. And now that I know that they moving the way they moving, nope. I will. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to ask God. They have a radio podcast thing on here. Right? Where no faces have to be seen or nothing. So we'll probably do it here. Okay? Because I can just be not seen. We have to move smart now. We cannot just do things as openly as we did before. It's not about being paranoid. It's about being smart. I know. I've had it too. A lot of places have had it for a long time, but it's mandatory starting the 7th of May. I've had mine for 7-8 years. It's still mandatory by May the 7th. You have to have it, or they can stop you from getting on planes, public transportation, which is all stuff that we talked about. This is crazy. My baby coming, she said, Mom, this is crazy. I said, I know, baby, but we got to get up. We got to put our bootstraps on. You already been trained for this. I'm thinking the same thing, but yep, no, come on. Come on. We not about to lay down and be stuck in a hole, or I'm going to stand on your head and get out. Do you understand? Then now y'all see why I used to be like, oh no, I will not be stuck in no hole with no woe is me people. No. This ain't the time to soak. This is the time to get up and apply all of your damn training. You is a WOIU soldier. We've been planning for this. We've been. Y'all was not in boot camp for nothing. Come on. I sure was a drill sergeant around here because my niggas gonna have to be strong. You see what I'm saying? Here. Physically, yes. But here. And here. The way the Gold Star just came together for me. Okay. You understand what? Right. Yeah. Boots on the ground, 28 years served. Ready. Come on, Steph. You said I love it. I will step on your head to get out. Get behind me. Listen. I'm not about to be stuck in the hole. No. Y'all. Shut up and think. We're gonna. Come here, let me talk to you. He gonna be like that man in War of the Worlds. Y'all remember the man from War of the Worlds? When the little girl was and the man was tripping, he said, we gonna be right back, baby. I'm gonna be right back. You just sing your song. Come on, Rika. Don't worry about it. You ain't even gonna have to worry about how to get out of here. You is not gonna have to worry about it. But what you're not gonna do is bring everybody where we at. You're not gonna do that either. Shut up. That part. Yep, Steph. He knew where to hide and was prepared and to speak up. When I'm trying to tell you, I ain't got time for that. And now y'all see why I said, well, let the people that want to scream and holler go on and lead a class. If you're not tough enough to be over here, don't be over here. Because what's coming is going to take everything that you have. So move around. You're too harsh. Go away. Whoever think they can't make it, step up to the front. I'm going to need y'all to exit left and don't ever come back. Because y'all tell the people where we at. As to why I kept praying. God, if this husband who will flake out on me during this time when stuff is good, flakes out, I know he ain't going to be able to make it through this other stuff. Go on and get him out of here. Because he'll be told the people where we at. Then he turned around and took that shot from the thousands to the 300. Come on, nephew. And you see, I said, whoever finds us, people like, I've been looking for you, have you? Because fan base is right in my TikTok bio. Is it not? It's fan base, not in my TikTok bio. You ain't seeking and finding. And I said, and I ain't about to just be saying out loud where I am. And people didn't believe that. And we was talking about physically, but even in that, I'm not repeating it. If you don't go looking, you ain't gonna find us. That's why the last day that we went live over there, people's like, where you going? I said, I've been saying it for 2 weeks. If you ain't went and watch the rewatch, that is not my problem. Because guess what? Right now, if you don't hear the first time, that's on you. I'm not about to be repeating because I don't know who's listening. And I've been saying that this whole time. And everybody's, where are we going to be? Where are we going to go? I said, I won't be putting it on here. That would be counterproductive. And look, ain't y'all glad we didn't? Tell play for play, and they got all that right now. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I won't be doing any of that, actually. Would have made us all sit in ducks for this coming next feud. No, I won't be doing any of that. CERCA, well, where are we gonna, and the code. That's why I kept saying, quit typing that. Why? You just need to know. Now you done brought them over here. You said gateway verse of the day yesterday was seeking you shall find. That's how they gonna find us. There is Dorothy. It has been as one on your license plate too. It's been one on your license plate since before 2010. About 2010 or 11. This is how they can do tag readers on the highway. They've been there. And this is why they also said that if you don't take the new ID and have the new license and all of this, you won't be able to drive on public roads. That whole turning your money off thing, it's here as well. Anybody happy they spent their money before this time came on the right stuff? As they said, that's why Harriet Tubman carried a thing. Come on now. Just in case, just in case. Drag your body and do what I need to do. Moving on. Look at here. The Lord has prepared me for that. Come on. Come on. Did God tell us there wasn't going to be money? said, while the money is here and it's valuable, buy as much as you can, because in a minute, it won't matter if you have money, you won't have enough to buy what you need, and there might not be anything to buy. Talking about driving years on an expired tag, better know. You better know it. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, nigga rolled dirty for a minute. We talked about that too, didn't we? What? Do what? No. That's why I don't care about having the newest thing out, because the newest thing out normally be your downfall. I'm glad, and we appreciate the warning. Listen, that part, Manda, I'm not scared, but my eyes are sure reading up right now. I'm so thankful for our family. That part. Come on. Come on. You said, what? I had a dream about it, and the officer tapped in on our reader. Interesting. It's kind of exciting, though, when you look at it. Who feels like you can see in the dark? And who feels like most of the world is in the dark about what's coming? They really, really don't quite understand. Because they're like, after the next election, there won't be one. He said he was the last president for a reason. And I told y'all, because he's the dictator. Did we not talk about that? I said, whoever going to be the president probably will, because it's going to be a dictatorship after that. Did we talk about it? The reason that they are telling you that you cannot speak against the government is because the Antichrist is about to come out. And you're not going to be able to say he's not God in the flesh. Not out loud. You're not going to be able to say he's the Antichrist. Did we talk about this? I told y'all he was getting rid of those stars for a reason. Remember I told you, I said he don't need them no more. So he about to tell all their business. Because the new... Man, we were talking about this in December, in 22. As soon as they start, I said, y'all, they about to get rid of these idols because he don't need them no more. And look, you say, yes, ma'am, absolutely. Well, y'all seeing it for yourself, ain't you? Politicians, he don't care about them either. He used all of them to get his plan going, and now it's a wrap. So, here we go. It says there will be a scarcity of men throughout the whole world, so that if one were to see a man's footprint on the ground, one would wonder. Did we talk about not being able to go outside and just being in the house and not really seeing nobody? Ain't nobody gonna be able to see you anyway. Y'all remember the beginning of this? And I said I wouldn't be buying all of them expensive clothes because you ain't gonna be going nowhere anyway. Yes, then you covered everything we went through. Dad, thank you. I'm just saying, I'm showing y'all how there are things that we studied that people said we didn't need to be studying that are all relevant to every single thing that is happening right now. Everything. There's nothing that we study, family, no matter how minor it might have seemed to the world, because I wasn't jumping and hollering and screaming. But it has been the playbook for the last 3 years. And it's going to be the playbook for the next 3. We don't know when we won't be able to communicate. But you all, God has given you the tools to go find the information without the internet. Has he or has he not? You have extra books to where, okay. So if the Pope or the Catholic Church is going to help the Antichrist, does it not make sense that they would take out all of the stuff about really what was going on? They got to leave some of it in there because it got to be made believable. But doesn't it make sense that if they are going to work with the Antichrist, that they would take out the information that we needed? Does it make sense to you that they would do that? Would we have known a lot of the things that are happening if we weren't reading? Would we have known what to pay attention to if we would have only been in the 66 right now? Do you think? Because a lot of the people that are reading just the 66, not saying there's anything wrong with it, they have no idea what's going on right now. They don't believe that we're past the good 3.5 years of the tribulation. They don't believe it. But because God allowed us to learn the names of the false gods and the giants' children, when we see them on the news, does it perk up our ears? Does it make our eyebrows go up or down? Like, wait a minute, I know that name. Wait, that's not good because that person represented this. So when we go and we see their names on vessels of raw, or they name a certain operation after, we can go back to our books and find out the information about that being, how they moved, and know that whatever is coming is relevant to how that person lived. Yes or no? When they are giving speeches about the statue in the water. Okay. Then further, the great God who lives in the sky will be a savior of the pious men in all respects. Then also there will be a deep peace in understanding, and the fruitful earth will again bear more numerous fruits, being neither divided nor in servitude any longer. Every harbor, every port will be free for men as it was before, and shamelessness will perish. And then again, God will perform a great sign. For a star will shine like a resplendent crown, gleaming from the radiant heaven for no small a number of days. For then he will show from heaven a crown to men who strive in contest. Interesting. Then again, there will be a great contest for entry to the heavenly city. It will be universal for all men, holding the glory of immortality. Then every people will strive for the immortal prizes of most noble victory. For no one there can shamelessly buy a crown for silver. For holy Christ will make just awards to these and crown the worthy. But to martyrs he will give an immortal treasure, to those who pursue the contest even to death. He will give an imperishable prize from the treasure to virgins who run well, and to all men who perform justice, and to diverse nations who live piously and acknowledge one God, who love marriage and refrain from adultery. He will give rich gifts and eternal hope to these also. For every soul of mortals is a gracious gift of God, and is not lawful for man to defile it with any grievous things. Would you say that that's the new heaven and the new earth? Hey, Pumpkin. To those that made it through and they figured it out, and to the martyrs, they gonna get their crown. But the mold and the fire and the bloody rain and horrible things had to come prior to that. Yes or no? Can I ask y'all a question? How angry would y'all be with me if I just started talking about all the things that we talked about in 3 years right now, but I knew the whole time. If I just started talking about everything that we talked about now, how would y'all feel? And then you found out that I knew. You'll be very upset. You'll be upset. You'll be upset at me, Keish? Not my Keish. Not my Isabel. Straight hurt. Sad. Isabel, you'll be sad and upset. I'd be sad, not mad. Okay. Would you be confused? Depleted. Interesting. I would be sad. You would be sad. Okay. Interesting. How do you think some of these people that have had the same pastor, you would be livid, you'd be pissed, you would be sad, you would be hurt? Got it. How do you think some of these people are feeling right now that have trusted these pastors to tell them how to get ready for this, and they wouldn't even talk about it? They wouldn't even read it. You said, I feel like I did about the church. Oh, not you coming for me now. Wait a minute. Hurt and mad. Like the people with the word knocking at your door asking you why you didn't tell me. Uh-oh. Yeah. It would be overwhelming and overstimulating because we would be trying to interpret everything in a short time. Come on, AV. How do y'all think that some of these people in the church is about to feel or are feeling right now? You said you can see some fear in their eyes because some have said they can feel something coming. Uh-oh. They would have the same, you said they would have the same reaction when I found out about you in 2022. We would feel betrayed, sad, interesting. I've been telling my mom, good job. I'm just saying. I'm saying if you've been a faithful member of your church for 25 years, you done been faithful, paid your tithes, paid your building fund, paid this and that, and you had no idea that any of this was coming, and this person has been in this pulpit telling you, I know the word, and you don't need to listen to nobody else. You don't need to go looking nowhere else. And then all of this falls in your plate. You said I wouldn't trust you again. Interesting. My sister died a pastor, and I cried for her. I cried for her now today because she didn't know none of this. Interesting. Disappointed and a little sad. I just want to know how y'all feel. Them people, remember I told y'all? I said, them pastors about to have to answer to some stuff. They telling that they have nothing to worry about. But do you think that that's what they feel right now? Everybody can feel it, even the atheists. Said, I don't believe in the Bible, but it's feeling real revelationally around here. This was 2 months ago. The atheist was online saying, yeah, I don't necessarily believe in a higher power, but I did, kind of read Revelations, and it's looking a little revelationally around here. You said you'd feel deceived, stabbed in the heart, like my soul smashed out of me. Dang. So what questions do you think a lot of these pastors that have come across information on social media and they took it to their pastor and their pastor told them, you don't have to worry about that, or you don't have to think about that, or whatever? What do you think that they're feeling? Exactly how I felt. Interesting. Everyone in church is getting ready for a revival or a harvest. Uh-oh. Some of them are feeling something they're not going to keep. Well, that unsettled stomach feeling down. I'm just saying. Because they're going to have some answers that they need to answer. The questions. Because people are like, okay, wait a minute. Because they telling us. You see, there are so many pastors who are just learning. They saying they shouldn't worry. because they saved, they have a guaranteed spot. I just said shaking my head. I'm scrabbling to get the info. That's what I'm feeling. Wow. Y'all know they took a lot of my videos off of YouTube too. They only go back 2 years. I scrolled all the way down to my live videos, and they only go back to sometime in 2023. So it says we have 1,300 videos, but a lot of our videos from 2022, I just did it the other day just to see, because I was like, okay, I want to go back. The numbers say 13, but the amount of them, you said they are gone. They are. All the stuff we talked about, a lot of the stuff we talked about in 2022, that information is not available on my YouTube. Telling them they're going to be raptured and not to worry. I know. You were frustrated. So you did go over there looking, Miracle Diaz? Yeah, when I first joined, I could only go back so far. You can go back on people's pages and find videos from 10 years ago, 14 years ago on a person's page, y'all. You can go back and find videos from 9, 10 years ago, and mine from 3 are gone. They take them from everywhere. I just went look. I said, where is the rest of my videos? You said it was gone 3 months ago? Okay. You said some of my saved videos of your old classes are gone too? I didn't save them. I didn't save none of them. That's so crazy. You know there's somewhere missing as well. Yeah, hundreds. Hundreds. All them long classes of us breaking down everything from the beginning. Yeah, you don't. That's crazy. I thought I was tripping. So y'all seen it too. Interesting. No one is guaranteed a spot. My sister says it, but has so much unforgiveness in her heart. Dorothy? Y'all remember me saying, I said, they're going to take this information away. They're going to silence me at some point in time. You guys, please get this while it's hot. Because I'm not new to this. This has been going on for a very long time for me. On social media and in person. Last year, I started from the very first live Zoom on here and watching them back to back. Something told me they were going to remove them. Yep. The last video says December 22nd, 2022, which means they took a whole year of videos off. We started in February of 22, so that's 10 months of videos that are... I'll be right back. I told y'all they was taking me off of... That's why they wouldn't let me get my clickbait stuff. They did not want people finding that information because it was all for now. October 22 was the first time that people was in my house when I was out of town. Because that's when I went to take care of my grandson for my daughter for a month. And that was the first time they was in my in my house. You said some of your saved videos of my old classes are gone too. It's all the ones that tell y'all what's happening right now. I told y'all this was going to happen 3 years ago. It's not. I already moved that. I moved that. I had changed all of that. They take videos down before I can even post them. They just did it the other day when we did our live with the Beyonce thing. Annalise is the one that told me that they said the video was not, she couldn't view it, and she's in South Africa. I've been getting the emails about it. I went back and tried to find the class. I couldn't find it. I said, well, I didn't private it. No. No, we've been on YouTube since, like, I've been able to post actual videos on YouTube, go live on YouTube since, like, April or May of 2022. That's crazy. Well, there's that. I think the only reason they keep the survival thing is because a lot of people go to that. That's like one of our most reposted videos, or that's the video people send out. So that's probably the only reason. Because you got to think of this. If I'm in the creator phone, why would I want my videos deleted? And they all, that's why I told y'all, we don't make no money from YouTube. You said they're taking the current ones too, remember? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want none of my videos deleted if they all got the little dot. They made me go through and do that with the ads. Why would they delete them? And they're making money if anybody click on them. Money I didn't get. They played me out of so much money. It was crazy. So, all I'm going to say is we here now. Yes, but I came across a while ago and I couldn't find you, so I assumed you got a new one, forgot, and people were saying you were fear-mongering. Who said I was fear-mongering? It's funny that the Trump said he would bring free speech back, yet he's still doing the censoring. Oh, yeah, he's going to censor everything. A lot of people said, CERCA, did they finally fix your Amazon list? Remember, it was hidden. No. You still got to do a lot to find it. And I know why, because Jeff Bezos was on the panel with all them people. Everything is making sense today. Every single thing is making sense today. My family, when I was trying to warn them, a lot of people came in and said that to you. They did. You know what's crazy? God let us make it through with no scandals. Only certain people will have free speech, right? Right. Remember, you told us people are going to jail for preaching. People are getting prosecuted. And that's exactly why we did not make this a church. It's not a religious organization. Amazon just quietly removed their LGBTQ equality rules. Interesting. That's why they've been hiding my stuff too. They ain't got to get me no money, but it's survival stuff everywhere. Everything is making sense. They're going to be thinking about you when they don't have that stuff. Listen, they're going to be thinking about God when they don't have that stuff. Because I mean, I guess people don't think that I could have quietly got all this stuff myself and never told nobody. You got to think that the person that is crazy enough to put themselves in harm's way to tell you about something that you need to get is probably not crazy. The fact that God let us make it to the end when there were so many creators that we have not heard from in over a year or almost 2 now. Their accounts were blocked deleted. God allowed us to stay to the last day of the real TikTok. But I guarantee you, if we did not set the rules in place that we did, we would not have made it 3 years over there. Do you hear me? We would not have made it 3 years over there. We had to cultivate a class where we could say what we needed to say without being violent. We started getting violations back to back. They was violating me for stupid stuff. And that's, I said, the people was here, y'all. They don't want me to talk about what we talking about. They kept getting me for misinformation. How is it misinformation and all of that is happening right now? Was it misinformation? And CERCA, I've been getting inbox asking me if I'm ready for my reading. Yeah, y'all know. Y'all, just Shannon, you know it's been 1,000 different. I've said this to y'all a million times. Y'all already know that's not me. I'm gonna be honest, not trying to be funny. I don't be wanting to hear it because I done told y'all a million times I don't. You just block them and go on, pumpkin. I've been saying that for years. And you might have heard me say it. You don't have to report that. I know. And y'all know it's plenty of fake accounts. So you just report them and move on. There's nothing I can do about it. I've been telling y'all that for 3 years now. They've been doing that since the beginning. That's why a lot of people left, because they thought it was me, even though they didn't listen to what I was saying about teaching against that. So they check themselves out. It's fine with me. The less people I got to be worried about. I'm not. I don't want a lot of crazy people around me that don't like. Even my friend, I hate to say it, but he was asking me some questions, and it's like, you still on the, oh, well, this person said this. I don't give a damn what nobody say. My information is not coming from nobody else. The things that I said here, God told me to say. You, sir, as a leader, have to go to someone else to find out if it's valid. God just tell me. I ain't had to read off nobody paper. I ain't had to nothing. He told me, he showed me, I said it, and it is all popping up off the page. I'm over that. Oh, well, I gotta verify with somebody. Go verify wherever you want to. I don't care. That don't mean nothing to me. It ain't making me feel away or nothing. I got what I got. And then the person, which makes me sad, said, well, you know, you mean you don't have that book, so you still in competition or on some weird stuff. Love you. Gotta go, sir. Because when you say stuff like that, those are small microaggressions. It's not my fault that money was more important. But I'm about to start busting these pastors and they to the white meat. This time out for that. Oh, whatever. I deal with it all the time. He said, thank you for being obedient. Yep. And I told all my pastor, my uncle that called me yesterday is a pastor, y'all. My uncle, he's the pastor. All the pastor folks and minister folks is asking questions now. I'm trying to tell you, it is what it is. It's real. But did I not tell you? I said they'll be back. And I ain't trying to be like on some, but no, because when you start to see the things that God told me to tell you was coming, then you'll believe. That sucks for you because it's probably going to be too late. We talk all the time about if you wait for the news to tell you, it's what? Now people are finding out. But the signs were there the whole time, were they not? If they would have went and researched, they would have already known about this. But because it wasn't right in front of their face, and because everybody wasn't talking about it, and because it didn't sound like the fluffy Jesus you've been told or taught, you didn't even look. You closed your eyes and put your hands over your ears and said, I don't want to hear that. Oh, okay. Well, now you got to hear it. Now you gotta hear that it ain't about to be no food. Now you gotta hear that it's about to be a cashless society and you can't say what you want. And now you don't have no damn choice. It's everywhere. On every news station, and in a minute it's about to be broadcast like they do in the Muslim countries and like they used to do, yelling out over them big old speakers all over the city. You gonna hear it. So good. You didn't want to hear it when it could benefit you. Now you gonna have to hear it now when you gonna have to be scrambling. It is what it is. People made their decisions on what information from God they wanted. They wanted to hear what tickled their ears, which is, you ain't gonna have to worry about that. You can buy your way into heaven as long as your pastor is cool with you. God is cool with you. That is the stuff that tickle your ears. That is the stuff with the honey glazed lips that we talked about. That's sweet, but really it is deadly. We talked about all of these things. The people that voted for Trump, they like honey covered lips. But now they seeing how dangerous honey covered lips are. I hope that same level of favor he was giving out 2 years ago is going to be available for them now, or they could. Oh, Mari, do you have to chop them in the throat like that? Do you have to? Because once this food is gone, what did I say? I said these pastors are setting these people up to take the mark. Do you see it now? Who sees that these pastors set their people up to take the mark? Because once these immigrants are gone and it's nothing in the store, how long you going to be able to see your baby hungry? How long you... Listen to this. In New York, how many people live in New York? How many people live in Wisconsin? And how many people live in Michigan? Please tell me the numbers. And people's like, which y'all got to over there doing numbers. Oh, they go, these numbers about to be important, and they know how to go look up the stats. Don't be mad because we know what to do. It might not seem like that is biblical to you, but it's about to be. In all seriousness, it's getting real. Come on, nephew. How many people? How many people live in New York? How many people live in Michigan? And how many people live in Wisconsin? I need the numbers, please. I'm trying to show you something. New York has 20 million. $10.4 million, so that's 30.4 million. Michigan got 10 million. So Michigan got 10 million. You know, New York got 20 million, so that's 30. And what Wisconsin got? $5.9 million. So that's about 36 million people that in less than 10 days could be without power in the freezing cold. I can tell because when it comes over here, it be choppy. I know when they show up. Because it started moving real weird. Like when I move, it's following behind. You had to leave. Interesting. So 36 million people in less than 11 days could be without power in the coldest time of the year. I ain't even trying to be funny. I wonder how many of them people I came across the FYP in 2022 and 2023. Not that I'm the only person that was saying it. I'm not putting it like that, but I'm just trying to show you. I knew something was up when we reached that billion hashtag and they just took the numbers. People thought I was tripping, but if you equated that to one person per hashtag, I keep hearing it's going to be a long, dark, cold winter. Come on. Queen, how many of them people out of the 36 million you think they have a stove, a generator, wool blankets, food stored up? Because if they turn the power off, you think they're going to turn it back on? Because he's stubborn. He probably going to go harder with something else. Probably raise it more. So 36 million people in less than a month could be living in an electricity and gas-free home, and it's still going to be cold. Think about the people that told me they didn't want to think about it. Think about the people that a lot of people are going to be sad. Come on. $36 million people. It's 300 million people here, so that's 10% of America's population. Or one, is that 1%? Excuse me. No. Yeah. That's like 10% of the population of America, is it not? We got like 300 million. And 30 million would be 10%, right? Right? We got 300 million people, and 36 million would be 10% of everybody that lives in America. Am I wrong? Is my numbers wrong? If we got 300 million people, roughly 30 million is 10% of that, right? Or no? Because if I got $300, I got to give 30 in my tithes. That's 10%. So 10% of the population in less than 11 days could be without power and heat and a way to cook and light bulbs in the freezing temperatures that we're having right now. How many of those people are on machines? How many of those people, it was -2 this morning, come on. How many of those people are on breathing machines and some type of machine to keep their heart pumping? Did we not talk about all of this? Because that's hospitals, that's schools, that's grocery stores. How will the internet run if there's no electricity? They talking about February 1st, today the 22nd. How you gonna run the internet without no electricity running it? Will you be able to know what's going on if you don't have a radio? A crank radio or a radio you can plug up? Will you be able to know what's happening? Because the stores need electricity. The gas pumps need what? Electricity. Remember, whenever the power goes out in these cities, they have to find a gas station that has power because the pumps will not work unless they're manually pumping it out. So 36 million people could be without internet, TV. Remember, do water filtration plants need electricity? Facts, because when the hurricane hit Florida, they were giving generators, gas stations that had gas but no power. Interesting. Did y'all hear that? Tawana, who was in the Florida, said facts because when the hurricane hit Florida, they were giving generators to the gas stations that had gas but no power. So 9 days from now could be very, very different. Yes or no? For 36 million people. All of us, but 36 million for sure. Remember me asking people not to spend a lot of money at Thanksgiving and don't spend all your money at Christmas time? Really buy all of your survival stuff, and then if taxes come, you need to just worry about it then. Do not wait for your taxes. If you can avoid it now, if you have to, I get it. But please don't ball out for Christmas because it's going to be very important that you have all of your survival stuff before December 31st. Because you see what they're doing. What if they don't give out taxes at all? Because they're making the external revenue service. I just hope and pray that when you go through your survival stuff and you are hearing the news about what is happening, you give thanks to God every day for loving you enough to tell you the truth and to show you and to prepare you for what was coming. The whole seeds are sown in rocky ground, good soil. A lot of the people did not even understand that message when I would teach it here. I don't know who's harder now. I've been telling that to my husband. Interesting. Who's a hoarder now? Don't talk crazy to my bro. Stop it. To my nephew. Be cool. Be cool. This woman that made up a group chat on Telegram was telling us that her son that lives in Cali, that helped stop the fire, and her son said the government been hiring civilians to start these fires. So, yeah. Because the government is run by the people that did the same thing back in World War II. They burned the areas that they wanted to get to so they could get there freely. I told y'all this. And now, Elon Musk then hooked up with Germany. I said they was going to do it, didn't I say? I said they got to get to the areas. This is why all of our southern borders have been decimated. We just talked about this. They're going to be able to pull their boats right up and pull them tractors right off. You hear me? Okay. Every single thing that we talked about is happening. And I'm grateful that God gave us the time that He did. We do not have to be surprised because we are aware. It is alarming, but God prepared us for it. He prepared us for being without power. He prepared us for being without grocery stores. He prepared us for being without gas. He prepared us for being without refrigerated food. He prepared us for not talking to people on the phone or whatever else it is, because if there's no electricity, then you won't be able to talk on the phone, right? Because our phones run on the internet, do they not? We don't have the phones no more that don't run on 2G, 3G, 4G, or just whatever. We got cell phones. And if the internet is tripping, you might not be able to access a lot of your stuff. So how will you communicate? At least you can hear what's going on. No. Even if you don't talk to nobody, at least you can hear what's going on. Because you can charge this on your thing and listen on the radio waves, yes or no? Which I'm about to get my stuff together. I'll probably do that today. Find the chargers to these and get all that ready. Okay. Well, I love y'all. We got walkie-talkies and CB radios. We do, but a lot of people don't. So with that, I'll be back on in a little while. I feel like the spirit of fear will cause a lot of... What? I love y'all. We'll get back together later. You're welcome. We just got to be grateful God thought enough of us. And that's what I've been saying. God, thank you for all my stuff. Thank you for my books. Everything. Because everything God told us to buy, it was important. And it was valuable. And it might not have been expensive, but it was very, very, very valuable. Learning how to make cheese and butter and store things and dehydrate food. It's going to be so valuable in the next couple of days. Really valuable. I'm praying for everybody that is in spaces where they are, I love y'all too. Yes, because I didn't get to talk the way I wanted to. Working hard today. Interesting. I love y'all. We'll see y'all later. Yep. Love y'all. See y'all later.